Hello and welcome back to Tech Tip Thursdays. This is episode 3 of our weekly series where we share with you some simple technological tools and tips that will hopefully make your work as a lawyer, a researcher, an academic, or a law student just a little bit easier and more accurate. This week, we'd like to talk to you about something that perhaps all of us have to go through all the time. As people who work with the law, we need to stay constantly updated with the field. And this might mean staying abreast of the news and developments related to a particular sector, or watching out for notifications from one or indeed several regulators. Now, how do you do this? Perhaps you go into work every morning and you log on to a news website, you sift through all the headlines, find the ones that relate to your work, then you go to a particular regulator's website, navigate over to the notifications section, try and see which notifications have been issued overnight, repeat the same exercise over again for another regulator, and so on and so forth. And maybe there are about 5 or 10 different sources that you need to stay abreast of every day. Now, this might take about 15 or 20 minutes of your time every day. Well, that's not much, but those 15 or 20 minutes every day add up to a fair number of hours every year. So how do we solve this? What if there was some kind of solution that would go to all of these websites that we wanted to, pull out everything that's new, update us by putting all of that information in one convenient location for us? There is something that does exactly that. They're called feed readers, and that's what we're going to talk to you about today. Now, if you do a simple Google search for feed readers, you'll come up with several options. The one that I'd ask you to take a look at today is something called Feedly. It does what I just described, that is keep you updated very, very conveniently, and it's free. So if you take a look at my screen right now, this is what the Feedly interface will look like once you've just created an account. Now, how do we tell it to keep us updated? How do we tell it where to go and find information for us? So let's say that I'm somebody who's interested in notifications from the Reserve Bank of India. Here's what I'm going to do. First of all, I'm going to go over to the left column and click on Create a Feed. And I'll give it a name. So I'm just going to call it RBI for now and save it. Very well, says Feedly. I've done that. I've created a feed for you. Now, what sources would you like to follow? So I'm going to click on Add Content. And as the search box opens up, I'm just going to write Reserve Bank of India and hit Enter. Now, Feedly gives me a number of options from the web. It says, do you want to look at press releases from the RBI or notifications, something else? Let's say I'm interested in notifications, so I'm going to follow that. Click on the RBI section and hit Add. And as soon as I do that, you'll notice that on the left, there is now a folder called Notifications from the RBI. When I click there, Feedly's gone over to the notifications page on the Reserve Bank of India website and pulled out all the latest notifications for me. They're all here in one place. I can click through them one by one, see whether they're relevant to my work or not. And here's the fun part. Feedly updates this automatically. So the next time that I log into Feedly and I ask it to refresh, it's going to show me the notifications or updates from those websites which I haven't seen before. Fantastic, isn't it? No more having to go to all these different websites and trying to understand what's new, what isn't, all of it in one place for you. And you can add any number of sources like this. This is one way of adding a source by just hitting the name of the website or the name of the regulator in the search box. There's another way that is really convenient as well, and it's called using RSS or really simple syndication. So let's take a look at how that works as well. Now, let's say I'm interested in press announcements from the government of India. I'm closely watching their policies, their announcements. So where would I go for that? One source might be the website of the Press Information Bureau. And the PIB website, like several others, has something called really simple syndication. So look for an icon which looks a little bit like this. When you see this on a website and you click through to it, you will see a list of feeds, if there are more than one, that website provides. So let's say I'm interested in press releases from the Press Information Bureau. I'm going to copy over that link, go back to my Feedly. I'm going to create a new feed, which I'm going to call the PIB. And a feed is just a collection, just a name that you can put on top of a number of sources that you want to aggregate together. So within the PIB feed, I'm going to say add content, and this time I'm going to paste the RSS link. And as soon as I hit that, Feedly recognizes where it's from. All I have to do is to say follow, add to my PIB feed. Once again, just as we saw with the RBI feed, the Press Information Bureau feed has now been added. I've got all the latest updates from the Press Information Bureau in one place. And the next time I log in, Feedly is only going to show me what's new, what's the stuff that I haven't seen before. So go right ahead. All those different news websites, those regulators' websites that you're following, no need to go to each website one by one and painstakingly go through the updates. All of that in one place for you in your feed reader. And hey, what if you didn't even have to use a feed reader? What if you could create a custom RSS feed reader, something that would go to, let's say, the SEBI website, look for new notifications and mail them to you at a specific time every day so it's right there in your inbox? That's just one of the projects that we do as a part of our Lawyers Learn technology program. So if you're interested, do look it up at lawyerslearn.online. This is a new program that we've created. It shows how we can apply familiar methods of legal reasoning to understand technology better, start computer programming and coding, and take better tech decisions. Thank you very much. If you have any suggestions for what we could cover on Tech Tip Thursdays, leave them in the comment below or email us. Thank you very much for your attention, and here's hoping to meet you again next week. Bye-bye.